What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about remastered Call of Duties and the potential future of remasters. Now, a big thing to keep in mind with this video is this is just an opinion piece. This is sort of my wish list for how I would like to see them approach remasters going forward, assuming they are going to be returning, and this isn't based on any sort of leaks or new information or anything like that. It's just an interesting topic that I wanted to share my thoughts on, since it does come up fairly often in my streams as well as on YouTube and Twitter. And diving right into it, so far with the Call of Duty franchise, we've only ever had one full-on remastered Call of Duty, where they remastered not only the campaign, but also the multiplayer experience. This, of course, was Modern Warfare Remastered, which launched alongside Infinite Warfare. However, we did also get a Modern Warfare 2 remaster, but that was campaign only, and multiplayer wasn't included at all in that, even though, according to insiders, the multiplayer version was actually created. It was made. They just didn't release it alongside campaign, whether that's for legal reasons or potentially just for business reasons as well. Maybe they didn't want it interfering with the mainline COD too much. And this is where I want to talk a little bit about the potential downsides of remastered Call of Duties and some of the reasons that could explain why we haven't seen any multiplayer remastered since Modern Warfare Remastered launched. The first big downside with this is it splits up the player base and pulls players away from the main Call of Duty game. And to top that off, if you want to maintain support for that remastered Call of Duty, that means they also have to split up their resources at least to some degree in order to support that project alongside the main COD game. Additionally, over the past 3 years with Call of Duty, we've had really heavy integration between those games as well as Warzone, and including a remastered multiplayer into the mix there, I feel like that would have overcomplicated things with that structure that they had. Like, do you start including the weapons from the remastered game in Warzone as well? Do you handle progression the same? Do you still ensure that there's that cross progression? So if you're playing, let's just say Modern Warfare 2 remastered multiplayer, assuming it came out, would that playtime also level you up in Modern Warfare or in Cold War? Or do you keep a separate progression system? And then if you do keep a separate progression system, does that go against the entire ecosystem that they're trying to create with Call of Duty, where no matter which one of the current CODs that you're playing, you're going to be progressing and leveling up. You're going to be leveling up your guns for multiplayer as well as Warzone. Same thing goes with your character and your battle pass. So I do think that's another fairly big reason that, at least for the past 3 years since Warzone launched, we haven't been seeing any remastered multiplayers. And then finally, another area that's a bit of an issue when it comes to remastering the multiplayer experience for older Call of Duty games is, will the gameplay, if it's just straight up remastered from those games with no changes, will it hold up in today's market? Will people actually enjoy it? Or are a lot of people just blinded by nostalgia and forget the fact that Call of Duty has come a long way since those days, and many of the issues that were in those games that we could deal with at the time because everything was so new and revolutionary, would the player base still be able to look past those issues in modern times? This was quite a hot topic when the leaks started coming out that there would be a Modern Warfare 2 remastered. Everybody at the time assumed that there would be a multiplayer remaster as well, and it raises a very important question. Do you stay true to the original gameplay design and keep all of the issues that came along with that present, or do you make certain changes to elements of the gameplay? Like with Modern Warfare 2, the one-man army danger close noob tube that was plaguing the game, especially by the end of the life cycle. I don't feel that would fly well with modern audiences. Even the people that look back on Modern Warfare 2 very favorably, if that game just straight up launched as a remaster with no gameplay improvements, would that actually hold people's attention longer than a few weeks or a month once they start to experience issues like that again? I don't really know. That's a tough question to answer. And I feel like no matter which direction they go with that, they're going to get backlash. And I do feel that that's yet another area that holds them back from potentially remastering more multiplayer CODs. So with all of that in mind, does this mean remasters are just doomed to never return to Call of Duty? I hope not. I hope they do consider capitalizing on all of that nostalgia that people had from what many would call the golden age of Call of Duty, which generally covers the era between, I would say, COD 4 up to maybe Black Ops 2. I feel like that's a general window that people would call the golden age. Maybe some people would have a very slightly different window, but it's generally around that particular time of Call of Duty. I really hope they don't completely give up on the idea of some form of a remastered from that, And this is where I want to get into what I would love to see when it comes to remasters. And of course, this is just my opinion. You guys can feel free to disagree and share your thoughts on it in the comment section below. But what I think would be really cool would be sort of a mashup of the golden age of Call of Duty, where they sort of take the best elements of each of those Call of Duty games, as well as a bunch of the fan favorite maps and content from each of those games, and mash them all together into 1 or 2 games. And what I mean by that is maybe you could have a Black Ops version as well as a Modern Warfare version, so you can keep those 2 separate, since they do tend to have some inherent differences in the gameplay design philosophy. So it'd be a bit weird to mash Black Ops 2's gameplay design into Modern Warfare 2's gameplay design. They would just clash too heavily, I feel. But that style of a remastered, I think, would be excellent, where it would still be capturing really heavily on that nostalgia factor for players. Plus, you don't have to stay true to the original since it's a mashup, so people don't expect it to be a one-to-one copy-paste from those old games. And it would allow the developers to make a lot of key changes and improvements while still maintaining that general identity and feel that we had back in those days. And we actually already see an excellent example of this from a fan-made, essentially mod based on the Modern Warfare 2 engine, and this is SM². You guys may have heard about this over the past couple years. They've been developing this game, which is essentially a mashup of the best of all of the original Modern Warfare games. And that is the exact sort of remaster that I personally would love to see going forward when it comes to Call of Duty. And honestly, I think it would be a really smart move on Activision's part to pick up the SM² devs and turn it into an official remaster project that they can sell to us down the road with the full backing, resources, and support of the publisher. Now, it's probably too late for something like this unless it's already actively in development. We just don't know anything about it at this point. But as of right now, you guys have probably heard the rumors that Modern Warfare 2 coming this year is going to be a 2-year Call of Duty. So the next mainline Call of Duty game is apparently not coming out until 2024. And that leaves an interesting window next year where no matter how good Modern Warfare 2 is going to be, it's very likely that people are just going to naturally burn out from that game, especially Call of Duty players that are used to the annual cycle. So I think it would be a perfect time at some point next year in 2023 to release something like this, some kind of a remastered mashup that would reattract a lot of those players that are burning out from Modern Warfare 2, while also bringing back a lot of players that just straight up don't like newer Call of Duty games and they prefer the old school style of Call of Duty. Now with this, they could even integrate the Battle Pass so that if you play this remastered game, you're still working on the Battle Pass for Modern Warfare 2 as well as Warzone 2. I would just hope with this, though, that we do get the old school progression system, as well as old school matchmaking and persistent lobbies. I know that's something I push for a lot, but I think there's a great argument for that at the very least for remastered Call of Duty games, so we can get more of that true experience that we got back in the day with those games. Now with this, they could also monetize it with weapon blueprints as well as operator skins and stuff. I think that would be totally fine. I understand they've got to make their money off of it, and that's a great way to do it. And I think a project like that, assuming they handle it properly and listen to the community's needs for something like that, it could also have the potential to really help rejuvenate the image of Call of Duty, because it seems like over the past few years, that image of Call of Duty has been getting worse and worse, and it seems like more and more long-time dedicated players have been dropping out of the franchise, and something like that is the perfect way to recapture them. Again, assuming they're actually able to handle it well. And with that, that pretty much wraps it up for this topic. It's just been something that's on my mind a lot lately, wondering what's going to be happening with next year, where we're apparently not getting a mainline COD, as well as the fact that remasters just seem to have gone away. And I was really hoping to see some remasters of Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer or Black Ops 2's multiplayer that's officially supported by the devs. Now, of course, like I said, these are all just sort of my thoughts and opinions on this topic, and this is where I want to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. What do you think about the future of remastered Call of Duty games? Would you like to see more one-to-one multiplayer remasters with no changes made whatsoever? Or would you like to see near one-to-one remasters where they make some improvements, like restricting one-man army danger close noob tubes, for instance? Or do you like the idea of having more of a mashup style of a remastered where they pull the best elements from each of the games within that general era of COD and create something based off of that? Just let me know all of those thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.